Lots of news bouncing around Old Trafford right now, Dan. Loads. And let's start with Dominic, Calvert, Lewin and Moise Kean. The pair have both been linked with Man United.
It's a fact.
It's a fact they've both been linked. For me, it is not a fact that Man United will entertain this. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, I'll start there. Is he the man to replace Rasmus Højlund? For me, absolutely not. He is not the man to replace Rasmus Højlund. Rasmus Højlund is Manchester United's starting striker, lead striker. And Dominic Calvert-Lewin has had so much problems with injuries and his reliability and durability. I think in his prime years when he was at it, there looked like there's a player there and you're waiting for him to kick on, but the injuries have held him back. And for me, I think that would be a disaster for Manchester United to sign Dominic Calvert-Lewin. And when I look at the reports of what they actually say versus what the media's frenzy and online is trying to make us believe, the detail was in the word. And if you actually read the articles, it was, David Ornstein and transfer deal sheet. And apparently there are some free agents that have been offered to Man United. And Dan, you've probably been offered loads of things in your life. You haven't bought them all, have you? You haven't chosen to have them all. And these free agents are being offered to Man United. Yes, because free, that's their agent's job. Man United aren't trying to buy them. Manchester United aren't going to get these players on purpose. They're being offered because they're free. So I take that with a pinch of salt. If Manchester United do lock into negotiations with Dominic Calvert-Lewin or Callum Wilson, then I will change my tune. But as of now, I don't believe that Man United are trying to get Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Where's Callum Wilson come from there? Did you just throw that in yourself?
No, that's another link.
Is that another link?
Because he's a free, again, these types of players. Jamie Vardy. There's other reports that Jamie Vardy, Callum Wilson and Dominic Calvert-Lewin have been offered to Man United. Yeah, of course they've been offered because their agents are going to go, you need a striker, you're terrible, my guy's free. Do you want to take him? Yeah, they're offering to everyone. It's Newcastle United looking at Dominic Calvert-Lewin too. So not for me. I do not want Dominic Calvert-Lewin to come to Manchester United.
I mean, it's been made to sound like Jason Wilcox. He's just sat there in his office watching Premier League years and going through every year and saying what striker scored a few goals. 2021 season, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Callum Wilson, 21-22.
Exactly, man.
I mean, every club gets linked with hundreds of players every window, and they probably only ever sign 4 or 5 of those players. And I can tell that you're really, really passionate about this, and you've referenced the wording, but if it got to the end of the window and Manchester United haven't managed to shift the people that they want to shift, it's fine, they've made some good signings, Cunha, and they're probably going to sign in Brahmu as well, but we're led to believe that to get other players in, to get an attacker in, they need people to move.
Absolutely.
So if those players didn't move and you've got Højlund and Xerxes as your 2 strikers, you wouldn't completely rule out at the end of the window Manchester United doing that kind of thing, because they've got previous for making that kind of move.
This is why, and this
Weghorst and
Igala. That was on loan in January when we didn't have anyone.
But would you rather have the 2 that you've got now, just them, or if it got to it and you didn't sign a striker and you got the chance to get Calvert-Lewin or Callum Wilson on a free to join the striker ranks at the end of the window, would you take which one would you rather?
I don't want to look into the future to envisage a situation where Man United have messed it up again by not getting.
You've got to answer that question now. What would you rather?
Mate,
go with what you've got or add one of them.
Do you know what? Callum Wilson's better than Rasmus Højlund, but he's not fit. He's not fit. So you need someone available. Calvert-Lewin is better than Rasmus Højlund in his best form.
Yeah,
but he's not fit. I'd rather have Jamie Vardy.
Out of those 3?
Yeah.
Would you?
I'd rather have Jamie Vardy.
I mean, I don't see that one happening.
Can of energy drink.
Sound.
Get out there, off the bench, and start Xerxes up front. If that happened.
I actually quite like Xerxes. I don't know what that says
about
me, but I do actually quite like Xerxes.
But the truth of the matter is, and look, in the finer details, if that catastrophe of a scenario plays out, which I hope it doesn't and you haven't jinxed it, but you're right, there will have to be a decision made if we've got no money and nobody left. But I would like to think that's not going to be the case.
Where is this striker then? Because if Gyökeres is going to us, it's not. I don't think it will be. I don't think it will be.
But
I've seen Manchester United fans scoff at that, which made me laugh. How can you scoff at that?
I've been arguing with my own fan base, mate. Ridiculous.
I wouldn't want it to happen anyway, obviously.
He's going to be 32, but so?
He's 29.
No, I'm saying if we give him a 3 or 4 year deal by the time, he's so? When Ollie Watkins is 32, he'll be fine.
How old Bruno Fernandes?
Yeah, he's like 30.
Yeah.
But he's world class.
Yeah, I know, but he's going to be 32 in 2 years.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter.
Well, they want him out as well. But some do. But I did not understand that our striker is Rasmus Højlund. and you don't want to talk about bringing Ollie Watkins to this football club. That doesn't make any sense at all. Proven Premier League goal scorer, knows where the back of the net is, works his backside off, makes good runs, can hold up the ball. It's not his best attribute, but he can.
He's a good all-round striker. Ollie Watkins doesn't get the credit he deserves.
It's not even a discussion.
I've been led to believe that he's happy at Villa, and at the moment nothing's going to happen. Obviously, if Man U came in with 60 million, which I don't think they can at the moment until they shift people, there might be a discussion around it. That would be the kind of fee that Villa would want for him. Because I think he's really difficult to replace. But this isn't a Villa discussion. This is a Manchester United discussion. No. But again, if he's not there, where is this striker? Because Manchester United aren't going to Leipzig and getting Sesko.
No. We're not going to TK either.
So where is this centre forward?
It's probably going to be someone that we've not been talking about who just props up. Not these players on a free. Be a player we just ain't heard of. Maybe someone from La Liga or Italy or something like that. And it will just annoy me. Because you're right. The truth of the matter is, here's what will happen. I think I've understood now that Man United aren't going to be able to get players in as quickly as they would like because the players got all the power. They've already come out publicly and said these 5 players have all requested to leave. That's them forcing the issue because they have to. Yeah. You're not coming on the pre-season tour.
No way back for any of them.
There's no way back. It's not come back, see how you get on and try and find it. We take you on tour to America. No. Find yourself a club. We'll give you extra time to find it. But what's going to happen now is those players aren't in a rush to do Man United a favour. They're going to wait for the best deals for them. And that usually goes on deep into the window, which will stop Man United working. So, I have no doubt that Alejandro Garnacho will get a permanent move away. I have no doubt that Anthony will get a permanent move away. I've got no doubt that Jadon Sancho, I think, will get a permanent I think Rashford will be alone.
Yeah.
But they're going to wait for the clubs that they particularly want or the move they want. It's all good Man United.
And they're in the contract. They've got every right to do so.
Exactly. So this is a problem that we've created for ourselves and we have to reap what you sow, as you say, innit? So Man United, it's going to be a tough summer. I think we'll get Mbeumo over the line. I think before we go to America, and then after that, you're right, Dan. I don't know. I don't know what was going. This is supposed to be the rebuild of the rebuilds. We've just finished 15th, and we've got one player in, and pre-season started now.
Worst case scenario, could Mbeumo be the striker? Worst case scenario,
potentially.
Because the way you play with, or the way you want to play with the 2 number 10s,
potentially,
he's more of a striker than a number 10 anyway.
Potentially.
So feasibly, that could happen.
He's adaptable. He can play as a striker. He can play as a right 10, I think. He can play as a right winger, left 10, left, I got no problem with that. And I have explored the fact of maybe we may see something we weren't really thinking of. But also with Xerxes there as well, he's not a high-volume scorer, but the ball can stick. He's got a bit about him.
I don't mind Xerxes.
Yeah,
he's not going to get you double figures in goals, probably.
But if you add in Mbeumo and Cunha
they'll get goals.
That can get goals with Bruno just behind that. So you're right. If it doesn't happen, I would much rather us do that than give a silly contract to Calvert Lewin who can't stay fit or something like that. A little bit of good news, though.
Really?
Just a little bit. Is that Man United were having secret talks for an All or Nothing Amazon documentary for this season. Very close. What's going to happen?
They were just going to call it Nothing, though, weren't they? They
were going to call it All or Nothing. They were just going to call it what it's always called, mate. Yeah, not going to change it. I know we're hated or never ignored, but they weren't going to change the name for us.
You turn me silly when we talk about
I don't blame me, mate.
I go silly.
I make you silly.
Yeah.
This is my... What do you mean?
Just when we talk about Manchester United or Villa, it goes silly, doesn't it? It's not a proper... It's never a proper conversation.
It's not proper broadcasting, is it?
We're all right when we're talking about general teams. It's probably quite a listenable show. But when we talk about Man U or Villa, it goes down the toilet.
We do apologise, guys. We do apologise, and there's plenty more of it to come, to be honest with you. So if it's not your sort of thing, we can't help you.
Drag me down to your level.
Yeah, I've seen your little minions. But Ruben Amorim says absolutely not. We are not doing that. And Man United were sort of in talks for like a 10 million fee, which is like more than any clubs had to do an All or Nothing, which obviously hated or never ignored, massive club. And obviously it's a soap opera anyway, so it's great TV. But that is the best thing Ruben Amorim has done since he's been at Man United, is say no to that. Because that is a disaster waiting to happen. I like watching it to see the other teams fail.
Yes,
I watched the Spurs one and I watched the Arsenal one because I ultimately knew what happened. I knew they would fail. I didn't watch the City one for obvious reasons. And I like that, but not at the expense of my own club. Not at all.
10 million is a lot of money, though, isn't it?
I couldn't give a... No.
In this PSR world that we live in, Flex.
No, but the damage on top of the damage that's already done to our reputation and the embarrassment. Look at our club. Could you imagine...
You're saying that you're basically saying that you've got no confidence going into the new season.
Well, I wouldn't want to be a fly on the wall with some of the conversation. What would imagine a fly on the wall now with this Mbeumo deal? It's taken 6 weeks to get it over the line.
Surely there's an element of control that the club have, though, that, stuff's filmed and not everything goes out there.
But also the players...
It's £10 million.
The players, mate, with some of the people we've got in the dressing room, I wouldn't even trust them to behave in the right way. Cameras, all access, Man United in this farce.
Yeah, the players that aren't going to get registered.
Imagine when we come back for pre-season, these guys have been given a little extra time off and they ask Sancho what's going on.
You might have got a bit of work. You might have been one of those talking heads on it.
Nah, mate, that's not happening for me.
It's not happening.
Good. But that's what I'm saying. It's a brilliant idea. People like you would have loved to have seen it.
Oh, brilliant. I like all football documentaries anyway. I like documentaries about sports that I don't even watch. But do you not think, though, I'm genuinely not trying to be difficult here, that like at a time when Manchester United have made a lot of cuts to turn down something for £10 million, do you think that's that good luck? I don't know. I don't know. I'm asking you. What do you think?
Yeah,
you can't be making cuts and then saying no to £10 million.
No, you can, because I do think you can, because again, what it stands for, like letting the cameras in when the club is in turmoil, is not good. It's not. And I know you can talk about the rebuild and you can document it and that. I'd rather us get a bit better before we do that.
I think it shows a lack of confidence going into the new season.
Well, obviously, we finished 15th.
I don't think that's great. That's not what you want to hear. That's not what you want to say.
It's realistic. If I had loads of confidence, you'd be the one telling me, Flex, you finished 15th.
Just quickly, I know we've got a break.
Yeah.
At the moment, where do you think Manchester United finish this season?
Scrape top 8.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.